There are so many ways to enjoy life. There are great things to do with friends and family, terrific outdoor activities, interesting hobbies, and so much more. But who has the time to do much more than go to work, raise the kids, and clean the house? Well, welcome to Speed Cleaning with Jeff Campbell, America's home cleaning expert. Speed cleaning will teach you how to clean your home in half the time, so you can spend less time cleaning and more time doing the things you would really love to do. Hi, I'm Peggy Nordine, and this is a very special day. Jeff Campbell, America's home cleaning expert, is coming to clean my house. I think that's him at the door. Oh, hi, Jeff.
How are you?
I was hoping it was you.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Are you ready to speed clean your house?
I'm more than ready. Let's go.
Good. I'll follow.
Well, this is just great. I have the author of Speed Cleaning here to clean my house. That's so exciting.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here. You know, now that it seems like every woman in America is working and nobody has any leisure time, there really are more efficient ways to do the house cleaning and make it go much more quickly.
Well, and what's really exciting is, Jeff, you don't just write about it, you actually do it, and we're going to do some today. I'm excited about that. And I also know that you do it all the time. Maybe, I think it's 18 years, you've had one of the largest and busiest house cleaning services in San Francisco.
Keeps us hopping.
It's the clean team, you guys who live in San Francisco. But you've also written other books. And here's a book on spring cleaning, and these are all those tough jobs, aren't they, Jeff?
Yeah, the things you don't do every week but that you can't ignore forever. You know, windows, ovens, things like that.
So people can learn more than what we're going to do today in spring cleaning. And then this is a real favorite book of yours I've heard called Clutter Control, and I know I could use this one.
And a little household organization never hurts.
Yeah, well, clutter is everywhere. And of the products and the tools and things that we use, we can find them in your catalog.
That's right.
Well, and we can call for that, and that's a good idea too. But what we're going to do today is speed cleaning. So why don't you tell us all, what is speed cleaning really?
Well, you know, before I answer that, I always like to put people a little bit at ease because they think, oh, you know, we're going to sit here and talk about cleaning. You know,
Yeah, well.
And, you know, actually, you know, we're talking about cleaning, but what we're really talking about is the other side of cleaning. Because if we can cut our cleaning time in half, we'll have more time on the weekends to do some of the other things that life might have to offer.
Well, and there are a few of those, you know.
I hope. And another thing that speed cleaning is not is that it's not hints. You know, I like to make fun of Eloise a little bit, you know, and I say, you know, you can't learn brain surgery from a hint or world history from hints. You need a system, and that's what speed cleaning is. It's a step-by-step system that allows you to go through the house cleaning with no backtracking and get it over with much more quickly.
Well, maybe we should have more than one family member watch this videotape today. What do you think?
One of my favorite subjects, you know, it sometimes get me in trouble with the husbands a little bit, but my opinion is everybody that helps get the house dirty ought to help get it clean again. So if you can get your family to work in a team effort, my goodness, you can really get the house cleaning over with quickly.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm going to be a student today, and so how am I going to know how much time things should take me once you're gone?
Well, we're going to keep track of our time today, and then I'm going to leave you with instructions to keep track of your time after I leave, and you're going to find that as time goes on, you're going to get more and more speedy at this job of house cleaning.
Well, that'll be terrific. Then we can really do it even after we watch the videotape.
Yeah, and another thing about it is that even though you're going to go faster and faster, it's an efficient way of doing it. So you're not backtracking, and it takes less energy. So you're not as tired when you're done, even though you're done more quickly.
Okay, I'm for that. Well, where do we start?
We're going to start in the kitchen.
Sounds good to me.
Well, Peggy, now that I've got you dressed as a speed cleaner, how do you feel?
I guess I feel like a speed cleaner.
You look like one.
Well, thanks. You know, I thought this stuff was going to feel a little heavy and bulky, but actually it feels pretty good. It feels very compact.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because you don't need a lot of things, but the things that you're carrying now on that apron are the exact things that you need to clean the house with fast.
Okay, fast is what we want to do today, right?
Right. Let's talk about the things that are in your apron. You know, cleaning involves a lot of spraying and wiping. So we're going to need something to spray with, right?
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
This is a heavy-duty liquid cleaner, kind of like 409 or Fantastic. It's the best one we've ever come across, and we call it Red Juice. But it's used for fingerprints and countertops and all those kinds of things that you run across while you're cleaning the house.
Well, like 409 are Fantastic, so if I have a bottle of Fantastic in my cupboard, I can use it.
Oh, of course. It's not fair for me to tell you you have to use the same things we do. We just found that this is a very good one, and so that's the one we use. use your product, you might try this one day.
Yeah,
You'll like it.
I think I'd like to try it.
On the other side, we have Blue Juice.
Blue Juice. Well, it's blue, huh? Must be for windows.
Exactly. It's kind of like Windex, but it's a light-duty liquid cleaner. Once again, it's the best one that we've ever found, and you use it as you would Windex on glass and mirrors and those kinds of things.
Okay, well, after I'm done with my Windex, I'll try that.
Good idea. If you're going to do that spraying, you need something to wipe with. And what we use are 100% cotton table napkins. And the reason we use them is because they're the most absorbent thing that we've ever found, and they're also as close to lint-free as anything gets.
Well, I kind of use paper towels myself. Why I shouldn't use paper towels? I should use that.
Well, two things about paper towels. One is they're awkward to carry with you because,
Oh,
you know,
like
you
this?
kind of one
Okay.
hand is, you know. But the other thing is they're expensive relative to the cost of these cleaning cloths, because when you're done with these, you throw them in the washing machine instead of throwing them away like you do paper towels. So over the life of these, you probably save a lot of money, plus a tree or two. You know,
Well, saving trees is a good idea.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
think
for
so.
that.
Notice how the cleaning cloths fit well and are easy to remove from my apron. That's because they're folded properly. Proper folding also means that they fit well in your hand. It's easy enough to do, but it's an important detail, so let me show you how. Fold it once, fold it twice, then fold it once down the middle. Now, isn't that simple? We have 7 pockets. In each pocket there are other things. One of them is this white pad. It's, you know, one of those modern scratchy kind of things, but it's great for, you know, getting things loose. They're a little hard to get off with just your cleaning cloth.
Well, I've seen those before, but the ones I've seen are smaller.
Well, speed cleaning involves, you know, using all your facilities, so this one's a little bit bigger. It fits in your hand, covers the territory faster.
Okay,
You
well,
might notice that this is lined, and because this gets wet,
yeah,
keeps you dry.
keeps you dry right
Uh-huh.
there, okay.
I've got another pocket here that's also lined, and I can use this as a kind of a temporary waste paper basket. You know,
Okay,
for instance,
I
if
got
I'm
one of those too.
cleaning
That's great.
around the room and come to an ashtray full of cigarette butts, I can dump it in here. And
I
not-
don't smoke, Jeff. We won't have any cigarette
Wow.
butts.
Let me see, 3 other little pockets here. One of them is this razor and a razor blade holder. You be careful with it, of course.
Yeah, it looks sharp.
But it's a wonderful thing if you come to a spot on a mirror, like paint that's probably been there since you bought the house, or the glass on the oven door. You know,
And
it's
it
a-
retracts right into there, so you don't need to worry about getting stuck with
so
it.
it's safe when you're not using it, exactly. Here we've got a scraper. It's
Looks like a
something-
putty knife.
It's exactly a putty knife. Very good. And this is used for, you know, other things that are difficult to get off otherwise. For instance, you know, smashed raisins on the floor when you're trying them off the floor. This is a quick way to get them loose.
Mashed raisins. I don't know what you're going to find around here.
I think we're going to
I've been
find
saving some stuff up.
another tool that's really a great tool is this toothbrush-looking thing. It's actually a cleaning tool, and it's got this little change in the shape here that allows you
Little gripper.
to use it without, you know, hitting your knuckles when you're using it. But it's great around faucets and knobs and corners and grout lines, and you'll use this toothbrush a lot.
Those are some things I don't know I always clean, but maybe I'll start cleaning them now.
So that covers the apron, but there's a couple of other things that we use. So when you clean your house, it's best to wear pants that have back pockets in it. One of the things we carry is a feather duster. And this is, you probably haven't seen a feather duster like this.
No, but I've been wondering what we're going to do with it.
Well, they're wonderful things, and if you look at it very closely, you can see at the very end, these little fingers actually attract the dust. So it's a great tool, and I'll show you a lot about how to use this as we go through the house.
Well, my grandma used to have one of these.
And Grandma was right. On my other back pocket, I have a whisk broom. And this is just a simple tool, but it's a wonderful thing if there's just a few cat hairs on the couch so you don't have to drag out the vacuum cleaner or cleaning filters and other things like that. And I'll show you a little bit more about that.
Maybe registers and grates and things.
Exactly, where dust accumulates and it's hard to get to otherwise.
Okay.
Now, those are the things that are in the apron, and that brings us to another little point. I hope I'm not overwhelming you here.
Well, I don't know, but we'll see.
There are a number of clean team rules.
Okay.
One of the clean team rules is use the right tools. And I like to say, you know, give your cleaning gadgets to your enemies.
So,
you
like
need a
this
few
apron.
real cool things that cut time to shreds, starting off with the apron and the few things that are in it.
Well, I have an apron. It has a few pockets in it. Think I could stick 2 of these things in one of those pockets or something?
Well, you know, if you don't have the pocket set up, it's going to be less efficient and you just aren't going to be as fast. So I really recommend an apron just like this one. All right, and then once you have your cleaning tools, keep them in impeccable shape. Naturally, if you're going to speed clean the house, everything needs to work well.
Yeah, well, Keep them in the same place too, probably.
That's exactly
Away
right.
from
If
other
you're
family
going
members.
to clean the house in 20 minutes, you can't spend 20 minutes trying to gather them all up.
Okay.
Now, we're going to clean the kitchen first. So beyond the things that we have in the apron,
Okay.
we need a few other things, and I have them here in a carry-all tray that makes them easy to get at.
Another good idea.
The things in here are gloves. I don't use them myself, but a lot of people prefer to clean with gloves. It
I
protects,
probably should. Yeah.
protects fingernails and things like that. Here is something called Pro Scrub,
Says pro.
and you're going to be one.
Oh.
I know you are. It's like soft scrub or that kind of thing. It's great for cleaning out the sink.
Great.
For the floor, we use this product called Clean. Kind of a funny name, but
Yeah.
it's a great product, and it's it shines the floor a little bit at the same time that it
It
cleans
must
it.
be really shiny.
And like in Clean. This is like that white pad, only green signifies that it's a stronger one, so it can scratch a lot of surfaces, but it's okay for inside the oven and a few places like that.
Okay.
We actually carry steel wool, and you know that you might say,
Now
well,
that might really scratch.
I've never used steel wool before, but actually steel wool 0000 grade, which you'll see on the package at the store, won't scratch a surface, but it is still a very strong cleaner. You might use it on your stovetop or places like that.
Okay.
I also have a supply of cleaning cloths and one other thing here that has to do with one other product that I haven't shown you, and let me bring that around right now here. This is called a shemap.
Wow, that looks like a real cleaning tool. I mean, it's big.
It really is, and I'm going to show you a lot more about it, but this is a more modern version or an improvement of an old-fashioned string mop or an old-fashioned sponge mop. It is a great tool.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
the
like
tools.
it covers a lot of surface. Sorry.
It does, it does. You're going to find that we picked this because it works real well, but it's also very fast.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the thing that we're going to do next is we're going to look at how we're going to clean the kitchen. Let's call it maybe like a plan of attack or something like that. When you clean the kitchen or any other room following the Clean Team rules, you have a starting point. In the kitchen, that starting point is right to the right of the sink, so that's where we're going to put our carry-all tray. Then we're going to start cleaning away around the kitchen, and we're going to always move to the right, never backtracking. So it's just a matter of working our way around the room, and ultimately we'll end up where we started, back at the sink. At that point you're done, except for doing the floor.
Well, that looks really speedy. Let's do it.
Well, Peggy, I'm going to set the carry-all tray right here to the right of the sink as we looked at on the floor plan.
And what do I do with the shemap?
Why don't you put that right in the corner next to the sink?
Okay.
The very first step in cleaning the kitchen is to take the throw rug out of here so that we can vacuum it later and it won't be in our way when we get to shemap the floor.
And we vacuum all at once, right?
Exactly. Now, we're going to start cleaning right here next to my carry-all tray, and I would normally start right in the corner and then lift up and get under my tray, but since we can't really see there, I'm going to pretend that this is the corner and start right here.
I'm a little embarrassed about all this stuff, but I wanted you to know I had to prepare some learning materials. I mean,
Doesn't hurt my feelings. I like to clean a dirty house. It looks so much better when you're done.
I just wanted my mother to know the truth.
You know, we haven't had a rule for a minute or two, but one of the most important rules is to make every move count.
Okay.
And that means, as I've said to you before, we're going to clean around the room without backtracking. It also means we're going to clean from top to bottom and from back to front. So following that rule, I'm going to grab for my feather duster.
Oh, that's the fun.
And I can see a cobweb up there, and with this feather duster, I can knock that cobweb down.
You can really reach high with this.
It's a great tool, and you know, just train yourself to look up, then look down, and next thing I see is some dirty fingerprints here on the cabinet front, and I know from experience that fingerprints need red juice, so I'm going to spray them lightly. Notice I didn't drown it in red juice, just put on as much as you need, because the more that you put on, the more you're going to have to take off. And so
That's right.
speed cleaning means not using any more force than you absolutely need to.
Okay.
All right, now then, to clean from back to front, you pull out what's in the back and then spray behind it.
Okay, I haven't found
Alright.
anything unusual back there.
Nothing, no surprises. And if there's anything that needs to be done with this is the point you do it.
Okay.
Now you push that back.
And I can just use red juice on those spoons and things? I don't
You're
need to
going
worry?
to use red juice on a lot of things, and actually the red juice is USDA approved, so you can use it safely on food surfaces. There's no
Okay.
rinsing required or any of those kinds of things. here we've got some dry crumbs, and rather than spray them with red juice, we just kind of turn them to mush. Remember this, temporary garbage place I've got here?
Right.
I'm just gonna whisk most of them right in there. Now, if a few
Put
of
it
them,
right up to the countertop, huh?
Sure.
That's great.
and I've got them in there, if a few of them fall on the floor, it makes no difference because we're gonna shim off the floor in a few minutes anyway. And we've got a
Okay.
stain here on the counter, and I'm gonna give that a little shot of red juice. And it's gonna come right off. Now see, I'm having to rub a little bit harder, and that brings me to another rule. If what you're doing isn't working, move up to a heavier duty tool.
I see.
The next tool is this white pad. So if you're having a little trouble getting the stain off, grab your white pad. Now, look at this white pad at the moment. I'm starting to get it dirty, and
Yes.
you probably want to go to the sink and rinse it and make it
Well,
clean
I
again.
always do, yeah.
That's backtracking.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, but you are protected from it, so just drop it in here.
So is it okay to use again though, because it's dirty?
Yeah, the effectiveness of it doesn't have to do with the dirt. So just
Oh.
force yourself to continue to use it.
So the dirt is in the pad and it isn't gonna come out on
It
something
isn't
else?
going to hurt you.
Okay.
So work your way down, you look down here, and there's often fingerprints on a drawer front like this. And that's a good place to grab your toothbrush, because the toothbrush works in getting in the kind of the grooves of the wood there in a way a cleaning cloth won't.
And it's clean in places I don't think I ever clean, so you're gonna
Well,
find a little extra here and
You
there.
get a lot of fingerprints where people are grabbing to open and close
Okay.
things. So you just clean your way all the way down
All
to
the
the
way to the
floor,
bottom.
and then I'm going to train you to then take a step to the right, and
to
we're
the
going to
right.
start all over again. We're going
Okay.
to look up and see what there is to clean high. Almost always some dust up here.
Another little pesty place to
We're
clean.
gonna do that, okay? And then
Don't show your cleaning cloth.
let me show you something here. This is another place where dirty fingers are touching all the time. It's around all these knobs,
Uh-huh.
are turning them on and off. Very difficult to clean. All of a sudden, they get easy to clean with this handy dandy
I can't
toothbrush.
believe that toothbrush.
Just, it gets right under the edge of them. It gets right down into the grooves of it. It gets right on the top of it. It's an amazing tool. And when you're done with this, and then wipe it with your cleaning cloth, what you've got now is a place on the stove front here, the oven front, that looks like new. Now, inside
Mom, this is for the show.
inside the microwave, it gets dirty, things explode in here, but it's easy to clean. And I'm just going to use red juice all over the place here.
Well, you forget, you get it dirty once and then you put something else in there really quick.
And it gets cooked on just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now I'm having trouble getting that off. The rule is go up to a heavier duty tool. So
Okay.
another tool that will work is this toothbrush here. So I'm going to use that on some of these that are a little bit baked on.
Mhm.
And then the same on the front here. Well, I'm going to move up to another one.
Sure.
Let's try this white pad.
Got a tough one there.
I think that's been on there a couple of times around.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well, I'm going to put some
when
red
there's
juice on.
more than one person in the house, it's hard to
Well-
keep that from happening.
The idea of cleaning is to get rid of it, and if you don't get it all the way to ground zero when you do your weekly speed cleaning, it's just going to be that much harder the next week.
Oh,
So.
I'm so glad you came today to do that, Jeff.
Okay, getting grungier and grungier,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to put it right back in there.
Thank you.
Okay, now wipe everything nice and clean and dry, and that now looks perfect for the next time that you use it.
That's great.
So, work your way down, and I'm just working my way down as I go. Come to the stovetop, which can often be a very difficult place to clean. This isn't in bad shape, but sometimes these trays get really yucky. I just tend
Don't
to,
look too close.
I just tend to wipe them out.
Okay.
That might be a place. Remember that steel wool that we carry?
That's right.
If there's burned on gunk there, that's a good place to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's work our way from back to front here. And here's another place I always grab for my toothbrush around these burner rings. This gets right under there without having to take the whole thing apart.
Well, and that's what really makes it look shiny and clean when you're done, when you get into all those little crevices.
Well, you're right. I mean, if you just did this without the toothbrush, what you would do is leave a ring of gunk there that you wouldn't that you would always see.
Yeah.
And this means that the dirt's completely gone. Okay.
Good job.
See how much better that looks?
That just
I
comes
mean,
right off.
all the way down to the,
I am going to try that red juice.
to the very, very nth degree of cleanliness.
Okay, now we're getting close to the oven. What are we going to do about that?
Well, we don't have to clean that oven because that's
Oh.
kind of a, most people don't clean it on a weekly basis. We're
Yeah.
doing the weekly cleaning, so that's something you're going to do when it needs it, but
I
not
see.
necessarily every time.
So I don't need to feel guilty about passing it up when I'm speed cleaning.
No, not
I'm
at all.
supposed to pass
Although
it up.
when it needs to be cleaned, you need to.
Well,
clean.
yeah.
There's something under here that I almost forgot about.
Oh.
Most stoves have some kind of a filter, a grease trap thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while.
Well, it hasn't seen the light of day for a while. They get pretty yucky, but don't even try to clean it. There's a rule I wish I would have thought of, and that is, if it fits, put it in the dishwasher.
Oh, that
So
sounds
this
like
is
a
a
good rule.
great thing to put in the dishwasher when
If
it
it
gets.
fits, put it in the dishwasher. I like that rule.
Also, of course, it is safe.
Okay.
All right. So then we just clean down. Yeah, why don't you
Put that right over here. Yeah.
Clean our way down the front of the oven as we've done before, and then we just continue moving around the kitchen, never backtracking. After a while, these cloths get kind of yucky, Peggy. I mean, look
That
at
one
this.
looks pretty pretty.
So it's time to get a new one. Just stuff this one down here, kind of behind your little garbage
Okay, let's
sack,
go over here.
and grab a new one. And as I say, I often just kind of throw it over my shoulders, keeps it out of my way.
Very nice.
And we know to clean from top to bottom, all the way down.
Right, back to front.
Very good.
Got it.
One thing we haven't talked about is some of the appliances, and here's a blender here. I probably should unplug it. Let me show you how to clean it. It's very
Okay.
interesting. Just spray it. Now, once again, you're going to see me use this toothbrush.
Good. I see you found some more gunk there.
But yeah, now just get down in here, and that's where you touch these things with stuff all over your hands. You're busy cooking,
Yeah.
and no one ever cleans those. But look how clean it actually comes. Now
Looks
I'm
like
going
new again.
to just wipe it. It's very hard to dry down in between those. So if I take and put my toothbrush inside my cleaning cloth,
Oh, now that's a great idea.
look at that. I can clean right down in there.
And you can clean it fast.
Clean fast, and it looks like you just got it instead of, 2 years ago. Push the off button, make sure it's off, plug it back in, and slide it back. And
Terrific.
we're going to move to the right. No
To the
backtracking.
right. Okay.
And I'm going to grab my feather duster as usual and start up here. And you can use feather duster generally on top of your refrigerator.
Well, that's a good idea. What about the inside?
Kind of like the oven. We don't really need to clean the inside of the refrigerator every time you clean the house.
Not every week anyway, huh?
Not every week. But this is a good point. You open this. This is a place to clean and keep clean. Down in these grooves on this seal and the front of the seal and right here. And that helps keep the cold air in and the hot air out, and it might save you a month or two.
Well, that's always a good idea.
It's time for another rule
Oh.
here. Now look at this refrigerator. It's
Yeah.
generally clean.
Yeah?
So don't absent-mindedly start spraying red juice all over the
Start
place,
going all over.
because then you got to wipe it all out. So you got one spot here that's clean. So the rule is, if it isn't dirty, don't clean it. It's a real easy rule to remember too.
But there is a really dirty spot right here.
And you're closer to it. I think it's your turn to start.
I'm
speed
ready. I
cleaning.
can hardly
Okay.
wait. Okay. Here's my trusty red juice. Off we go.
Right?
Get it really wet with red juice.
Okay, just don't drown it, that's all.
Put it right back. And whoa, I did
Good.
drown a little bit,
You
but
put it right back. That's the
I put
good
it
thing.
right back. And I'm rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, but I need a little extra tool to help
Move
me
up
along.
to the next heavier duty tool.
So,
Exactly.
Get a little red juice out.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I like
Get my little
this.
white head out.
I like
And
it.
it's just going away just like that.
You're going to be a speed cleaner.
That's terrific.
Great. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do now is continue what we've been doing,
Right.
working our way around the kitchen to the right, doing the same thing over and over again.
Okay, and back to
We're
the
gonna-
sink.
Back to the sink. Well, we've cleaned our way around the kitchen, and now we're back at the sink peg. Going to use a new product here, but first I'm going to clean around the top of the sink. And this is a place where you're going to use your toothbrush every single time to get around all these places. That area is actually already clean, but I just want to
Want to show us
see.
how? Yeah.
Now, add some water to the sink
Mm-hmm.
just to get it wet. And now we're going to use this product, remember?
Oh, I remember. Yes.
Kind of like soft scrub, but it's a great product for cleaning out the sink.
And it's okay on my stainless steel sink?
It's okay, yeah, it's not going to scratch a thing. And this is
Okay.
the time when I'm going to use my white pad instead of a cleaning cloth. And you know how to do that. It's easy enough to do. Just get it
Right.
all nice and clean. Here's another place to use your toothbrush around here at the drain. Use that every time. Now we can rinse it out. Here's a time we can actually rinse that yucky old white pad at the same time.
Yeah.
That's out of the way. The only thing left is the floor. So it's time for us to put that mop with a funny looking name to a test.
That sounds good to me.
Let me show you how to use this Shimop.
I'm looking forward to that.
I've got a supply in my carry-all tray of Shwipes, and that's what does the cleaning. I've put some water in the sink. What you want to do is put a couple of inches of water in there.
Now, a Shwipes is the terry cloth sort of cover?
It's the cover, and I'm going to put it on there in a second, and I'll show you how to do that. In the meantime, we need some floor cleaner, and I remember the Shemant,
right.
the Shclean.
Yep.
Put a couple of gurgles in there.
Gurgles are 2 tablespoons?
Or 3.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. In other words, if it's not working, add a little bit more. If it's working just fine, put a little less in.
Okay.
All right, and now I'm going to dip the Shwipe in there and wring it out what I call almost dripping wet. All right, so you still got a lot of water in there.
Good.
And cleaner. Shclean. Now,
That
this
helps it go
just
over your floor easier, or what?
fits right over. Well, the Shclean does the cleaning.
Okay.
Okay, and the Shwipe now is the abrasive that gets the dirt up.
Okay.
But let's show the camera this. I want to
Right.
demonstrate this. I talked about an old-fashioned sponge mop before.
Yeah.
They're about that long and about that wide. So you got about that much on the floor. Now look
Right.
how many more times area of surface
Yeah.
you got here. So now we're going to take the Shemop, and I'm going to start in the far corner of the kitchen, and I'm going to Shemop my way back towards the sink and to our exit door.
Terrific.
When you encounter something that it's difficult to remove with the Shemop, grab your scraper and do it the fast way, just like that, and then continue Shemopping. Just use the mop as you would an old-fashioned mop. See how it gets that up off the floor?
Wow.
And then look at this, how it swivels into the corners, gets under the edge of the cabinet like that.
Really
It's-
easily, huh?
It's almost like getting down on your hands and knees.
Oh, let's not do that.
Well, but without having to do it on
Okay,
these,
all right.
you know,
Yeah.
older everyday knees of ours.
Perfect.
Ultimately, you know, we're getting a lot of
Yes.
dirt up off the
Well,
floor.
it has been a pretty dirty kitchen, hasn't it?
Oh, this is an effective mop, but as the heads get dirty, as the Shwipes get dirty, you just drop another one into the sink, a nice clean one, and put it on, and keep on going.
So you never put any dirty Shwipe into the sink?
No, and these just go in the washing machine along with the cleaning cloths when you're done.
That's
Ultimately, we're back here at the sink, so the last time, you know, just let the water out,
Uh-huh.
you know, touch up the sink a little bit if you need to, and we're done with
That
the
sounds
kitchen.
great. We're done with the kitchen?
Yeah, and we need to Shemop our way out, but that's it.
Wow. Well, let's see. If we weren't talking so much, how long would it take us to clean this kitchen?
Yeah.
I mean, what should my goal be as a student?
You're probably right. It probably took us longer to talk about it. Than the kitchen. I bet you this is a pretty easy kitchen. I bet you'd be able to do it in real close to 22 minutes. Now, Peggy, it's time to talk about speed cleaning, everybody's favorite room.
Yes, what room might that be, Jeff? I'm sure you're talking about the bathroom.
I'm talking about the bathroom. That's right. But we'll learn how to get it over with quickly.
Well, that's good.
We're going to have our apron on exactly the same as we did in the kitchen with our blue juice and red juice and our cleaning cloths and all of the things that are in the pockets
Yeah, some fresh cleaning cloths.
and fresh cleaning cloths. Beyond that, we're going to need a few other things, and I've got them now in a carry-all tray. So let's look at those real quickly. I've got Pro Scrub,
Yes, it's similar to soft scrub, correct?
exactly, for
Okay.
the sink and the toilet and the tub, that kind of thing. Tile juice. You know, one of the hardest things to clean in a bathroom can be hard water spots that accumulate on tile and
Yeah.
shower doors and things like that. That's what this is for.
But you're talking about tile around the bathtub and not tile on the floor?
Exactly. You're going to use something else to clean the floor.
All right.
If you've got fiberglass, you know, and a lot of people
Yeah.
do these days, you might want a fiberglass cleaner, so that's what this is.
And you would use that instead of Pro Scrub?
You would use that instead of the tile juice.
Oh, tile juice,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, nasty old mold and mildew, bleach kills it. So
I think bleach is a little nasty too, to tell you the
it
truth.
is, but I'm going to show you how to use it safely.
Okay, great.
Need a couple of brushes since we're going to be cleaning
Right.
certain things
I
in
can
the
guess
bathroom.
what that one is.
And this is a toilet brush, but
Yeah.
happens to be the best one that we've found. It's got a great shape and it allows you to get up underneath the rim of it.
Has a
without-
nice long handle.
Yeah, get a little distance from your work there. And the final thing that's in here that's different than what we talked about before is this tile brush. And this is a great brush. See how those bristles stick out like that?
Right.
They really dig into grout and dig into corners, and it's a great tool for helping you clean the bathroom.
Huh.
So we've got that.
Never used one of those.
I bet you you're going to use it in the next few minutes.
Okay.
Also got a new supply of cleaning cloths, so we won't run out of those.
Good.
And then the one thing that I want to do is talk about how we're going to clean the bathroom, so we need a little plan of attack.
Another plan.
Peg, in the bathroom, we're actually going to break one of our rules because we're going to make 2 trips around the bathroom only. And that's because there's all this wet work to do. So the first place we're going to start cleaning is the tub, and we're going to do the tub and the shower at that point. Then we're going to move over and do the inside of the sink, another wet job.
Okay.
And then we're going to do the inside of the toilet, another wet job.
All right.
Now, once we've done those things, we're going to make kind of like the wet, less wet trip around the bathroom. Okay? And so we have a starting point here, which is at the end of the tub. And now we're going to do our cleaning trip around the room, just like we did in the kitchen. So we're going to work our way around without backtracking, doing everything that we didn't do on that first very wet trip around the bathroom, and end up at our starting point, and we're done with the exception of doing the floor.
Well, Jeff, I guess we're going to clean our favorite room, huh? I mean, you're going to teach us how to clean the bathroom faster.
I'm ready. First step is to put the carry-all tray at our starting point, which was right there as we looked at on the chart. And remember, we're going to make 2 trips around it. We're going to break a rule. But there's a good reason for it, because we're going to do the wet work first. So the 3 wet things we're going to do is the shower, then the sink, and then the toilet.
Toilet.
So let me start with the shower.
Okay.
First thing I'm going to do is pull a water in here and get it wet.
Yeah, well, you can see those hard water marks. There's just a lot of hard water around here.
Well, it's a problem that a lot of people have, so don't think that you're the only one getting picked on with hard water. It's a good idea to set the soap out, get it out of the way so we can clean that. Now, what we're going to do, I'm naturally going to cover all of these tiles, but I'm going to start over here so you can see what I'm doing there.
Okay.
There's also a place here where water doesn't splash and doesn't get dirty, so start at about that spot. In other words, in the clean areas, don't clean it again.
Okay.
And now just apply tile juice. That's the product I've got here in my right hand. Now with the tile brush, I'm just going to spread it around at this point. I'm not going to really scrub, okay? So I'm just spreading it around. The reason that I'm doing it that way instead of scrubbing right now is because it's so hard to get that hard water off that we're letting the chemicals in the tile juice work on it a little more. So continue around. When you come to spots, you know, like the chrome, put tile juice right on those also.
So you can just use your towel juice right on the chrome.
Right on the chrome. They've
No
got
problem.
hard water spots on them just the same.
Yeah.
Continue on around. Now when you come to the shower door, do the same thing,
Sort of let it trickle down there.
but instead of using your tile brush, switch to the white pad.
Aha.
It seems to work better on this real smooth surface like that. And now once again, I'm just spreading it around, okay? But see how the chemicals are starting to eat away at the hard water,
Oh, yeah.
the white spots there. Okay, so I would of course do that all the way down. Now, once I've gone all the way around, now I'm gonna go back again, and this time really scrub. I mean,
Okay.
you know, put a little elbow grease into it. This is a hard job, but
Yeah.
we're getting it over with fast.
And I see you're doing it in a circular motion. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to go in a circle than it is to stop and start and stop and start. Remember to dig into the corners as you need to.
Yeah.
Go right over the top of the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you get back here, once again, really scrub. You see that mess I'm making there?
Yeah.
It gives me a chance to bring up another rule.
Another rule. You told me there'd be rules.
This rule is don't rinse or wipe a surface until it's clean. In other words, it's kind of hard to tell if this is clean yet. You know, it's such a mess. Well, don't rinse it just to look. It's kind of a form of wishful thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Learn to kind of feel through the dirt when you know that it's really clean.
Well, I can't believe all those hard water marks are gone.
I'm just going to continue scrubbing this top and bottom, and then I'll stop and rinse everything.
Okay. Well, Jeff, that really looks clean now. Wow.
Don't they? I'm
Yeah.
real proud of that tile juice. You know, I've got a little surprise for you, Peggy.
Yeah.
You want to keep them looking that way.
Well, what is that?
It's a shower wiper. It's just a real nice little squeegee that you can leave in the shower, and the last person that takes the shower quickly squeegees down the walls, squeegees down these doors, and it keeps it real clean between weekly cleanings.
That'll make cleaning the bathroom really fast.
I'm going to hang it right there so nobody forgets.
Great, thank you very
Okay.
much, Jeff.
It's time to clean the tub,
Okay.
and the way to do that is now get some of our Pro Scrub right here, and I'm just going to put some around. I'm not going to try to clean both ends of it because you're not going to be able to see me do that anyway. And then, starting at the top here, just scrub your way down into the tub. Now, your house doesn't have such a bad bunch of it, but there's often mold growing in the corners here.
No, it happens, believe me.
Grab your toothbrush, and you're going to get almost all of that mold out by doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If there's a little bit left, we're going to take care of it just before we leave.
Okay.
One other thing that's sometimes really difficult to clean is the shower door running. Now, the design of this one's pretty easy, but if you're having trouble, take your white pad and fold it in half either that way or that way, and it works great. Another possibility, of course, is your toothbrush. You know, it really digs into the corners, and that's one of those things, once you get it cleaned out, it'll stay clean for quite a while, and the next time it's just a kind of a light little wipe.
So you can do that on a weekly clean. You don't have to skip it. You can just take care of it really
You know,
fast.
right, there's nothing that you skip when you go around the room once and never back up it.
Okay.
So let me finish scrubbing this and then we'll rinse it. Okay, step 2 is to take this white pad, it's already full of Pro Scrub, and clean the sink with it, as is. Use your toothbrush around here and rinse.
Well, Jeff, I remember what step 3 is. It's cleaning the toilet.
The inside
or
of
the
the
commode,
toilet.
or however.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the inside of the toilet only.
Okay.
That's going to take some more Pro Scrub.
Yeah.
Just squirt it right in here. Also, grab your toilet brush, get it wet, and put some Pro Scrub right on the brush itself. And now, wishy, 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 but that's what you're going to do. Starting at the top, working your way all the way down. And we've now cleaned the inside of the toilet. Rinse this out by flushing it. And we're done with that part. Now we're ready to do the second trip around the room, which is everything but the 3 things that we've done. Luckily, the 3 things we've done were the hardest things.
The hardest things.
So now, let me have my feather duster and put it in my back pocket where I usually have it. Now I'm going to start from my starting point, which is the tray, working from top to bottom. Not much to do here. The one thing that sometimes needs some attention is this front edge of the tub. And this full red juice and right along. This is a good time to put the soap back in as you go by. Sometimes there's fingerprints on the door where people open and close it, but that's about all that has to be done with the outside of the shower door. When we come around here, we've got mirrors to clean.
Oh, Jeff?
Yeah.
There's 2 spots on that mirror on the left-hand side, and
Oh,
they've been here
yeah.
almost since I have.
Is that right? Well,
They just don't seem to come off easy.
remember that razor blade we
Easily.
talked about?
Yeah.
Let's try that. It's paint is what it is. Look at
Huh.
it. See, they come off just like as easy as pie.
Great.
I
looked at
told
those long enough.
I told
Okay.
you it was a good idea to carry that razor
Yeah,
blade.
you did.
Here's the time to use our blue juice though. Since I can't reach all the way to this, I'm just going to touch up, you know, the spots that people have got a little hairspray or fingerprints or something
We
on.
use hairspray around here.
I see, okay. The other thing is, once you get a mirror wet, the secret to not introducing streaks is to keep drying it until it's dry and use a very dry cloth. And that way you won't get it dirty.
So the streaks are the cloth's problem. It's wet.
It's wet.
Okay,
And yeah,
gotcha.
you're right, you just didn't hold it long enough. Now, clean this area, we know how to do that, but let me just do a little example of it. We're gonna clean along here. I got a little bit up there on the mirror, let me get that back off. Now, top of the toilet and the handle here. Now, here's everybody's real favorite of things to clean. Let me show you how to do this. Put everything in the up position.
Okay.
Now, spray the bottom of the seat part, and the top of the seat part, and the bottom of the cover.
Oh, so keep spraying and don't wipe yet.
No wiping yet. Exactly right. And then the last thing is this hinge area back there.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do is wipe it in the exact reverse order. So that means I'm going to start with this hinge area back here.
Mm-hmm.
And there must be a half a dozen places where you need your toothbrush. So keep it at the ready.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm just wiping in the opposite order around all of these hinges. Always need toothbrush. But it's kind of like the knobs on the stove. Once you get them clean, they really look better.
Well, and going in one direction like that, you're really doing that very fast. That's great.
There, it's clean. You just clean the top of the toilet itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're going to go all the way down. As long as we're here, top to bottom, remember.
Oh, you mean you can't skip those in speed clean either, huh?
No, I'm sorry. But it isn't very hard to do once you do it a couple of times. There's those hinges, those buttons down there. They're always
Yeah.
kind of a nuisance, but use your toothbrush down there. One other thing, as long as I'm already down here being quite this intimate with the toilet, I
Mhm.
would just as soon clean the floor around it so I don't have to get down in this position again.
Right.
So I'm
Usually
going to,
there's some hairs and stuff down there.
there usually is. Just use a cleaning cloth and red juice for that part. Wipe all the way back in there. Okay. Now, there's an area we're not going to have to get quite so close to for another week or so. As cleaning cloths get dirty, just toss them over by your tray where you're going to use them when it's time to clean the rest of the floor. Let's continue cleaning around the bathroom, top to bottom. Here's a place where feather duster is going to come in handy to get some of the cobwebs and dust off of those. Clean the mirror, we know how to do that. Down here, we know how to clean this area, but I just want to emphasize one more time, besides the red juice, always use your toothbrush around the fixtures, such as this. And then wipe it clean and dry.
And really polish them up, huh?
It really does make a difference. Since it's chrome, it looks so much better if it's shiny instead of anything else. It's always a good idea to take the soap out of a soap dish and clean it too. They get kind of grungy after a while. Oops. Just about to lose part of that soap here. Go back to it. There. So anyway, we're going to continue our cleaning around the bathroom, moving from top to bottom to the right.
And I'm in your way.
Sooner or later, I'm going to get back to my starting point.
Okay.
And that's the time now when I'm going to do the floors.
All right.
So, thing to do is to set your carry-all tray
Whoops.
just outside the room,
Okay.
like that. And as I said, we're going to use the cleaning cloths we've been tossing over here, along with some red juice, to clean the floor. So just kind of, hunker down and do it. It seems like this is a faster way to do it. By the time you get out your shemop and try to get behind the toilet and into all the corners, you could have done it 2 or 3 times on your hands and knees. Now, because I've used a cleaning cloth and red juice, that's already dry. This is the point that we want to try to kill any mildew that's growing in the shower. And remember, we had a bleach bottle in there, so let's apply some, and it goes just where they're growing in the little grout lines there.
Oh, I see.
And I try to set this so it's just not spraying, so you're not breathing it very much.
So you turn the nozzle and make it squirt.
It's squirting instead of spraying. Then leave the room, come back in a few minutes and rinse. But other than that, you speed cleaned, or I've speed cleaned, or we've speed cleaned your
Yes.
bathroom.
Well, and I'm the student here, so I have one more question, Jeff, and then I guess we're done.
Sure.
How long should it take me to speed clean the bathroom?
This is an easy bathroom. I bet you'll be done with it in 8 minutes.
My goal for the bathroom is 8
8
minutes.
minutes.
Well, Jeff, I know our next job is the dusting. We're gonna need some different things here, I see. My apron looks a little different than it did last time.
It's a little different. I mean, a lot of it's the same. You've got your red juice, and you've got blue juice, and you've got
Right.
cleaning cloths, and you've got your tools.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not going to need that white pad when we're doing the dusting, so I've got some furniture polish for us.
Looks a little like Pledge, maybe?
Yeah, better than Pledge, but
Better, but
it's furniture
okay.
polish. And a polishing cloth, of course.
All right.
And so you've got those in your apron. One thing you don't have in your apron that I've got is a paintbrush.
You're not going to paint anything
No,
in
I'm
my
not going
house,
to paint
right?
anything, but I'm going to show you how that might help you with the dusting job as
Okay.
we go around the room.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Now, we are going to go around each room just as we've done before. You know, this dusting job is a little drier. There's less spraying.
No backtracking, right?
One trip still, you know. Finish as you pass. Dust it, polish it, wipe it, brush it, wet clean it, and change tools as you need. For pity's sakes, don't do one time around the room and then the other thing the next time around the room. One time.
Okay, but what if there's a table in the middle of the room?
Well, just kind of like if you had an island in the middle of your kitchen, just pick a point to go out to it
Okay.
and come back and pick up right where you were before you went out and did the table in the middle.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about dusting, I've been waiting to use this for a long time. Can you teach me how to use this feather duster?
Sure, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I love my feather duster. I just think they're great things, you know.
I think it's
We
nice,
talked
too.
about how they have these little fingers
We
right at
did.
the end
We
and they
did.
attract the dust. Now, you know, you've seen those cheap chicken feather fluorescent color things, you know, even if they
Yeah.
were free, I wouldn't want one because they just don't work. You have to have the ostrich down to get them to work. Now, once you've got something to work, then you have to use it properly.
Okay.
The correct way to use a feather duster, let's pretend there's a picture frame right there.
Okay.
And if you're dusting the top of the picture frame, when you come to the end of it, come to a complete stop, pick it up, and then kind of tap it against your ankle every once in a while so that the dust that
Dead
used to be
stop,
up there came down here. And the reason I'm saying dead stop is because
Like
you've
that?
seen people use feather dusters like this. They go and what do you think's happening to all the dust? It's
It's all
blowing
going all over,
the
yeah.
place. Right, exactly. So, well, I'll show you as we go around.
Okay,
and
all right.
I'll give you a couple of examples. So,
Terrific.
are we ready to dust your living room?
I would love to.
Okay, great. Well, let's start right here. As you know, we're going to work way around and we're only going to do it once. And the very first thing I come to is something I do need my red juice for because it's this light switch. And there almost always are some fingerprints on them.
I might not have thought of that. Well, Jeff, you're so good about putting that red juice back in your apron every single time. I find myself leaving it on a countertop every once in a while.
It's
What's
funny how when you put it on the countertop, when you go to reach for it again, like the counter's moved and it's not there anymore.
Those bad countertops.
Well, the reason that I put it back there every single time is because it's one of the rules.
Yeah.
The rule is repetition makes for smooth moves.
Repetition
So
makes.
I
something.
always put it back there. I always know where it is, and pretty soon I don't even need to look. So it saves a little more time, and it's also a little easier because you're not chasing around after it.
Well, that's a new rule. We'll practice.
Let's dust our way across the top of this beautiful old wood side table here. This is great.
Well, thanks. It comes from the 1700s. I take a real pride in it.
I can see why you'd be very proud of it. You notice how I didn't slide that over the top of it.
Yes, I
huh?
noticed that. I
No,
appreciate
we want
it
to be
too.
very careful of it. I started using my feather duster, but I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to use furniture polish because it's such a nice piece. It is safer to put the furniture polish directly on the cloth rather
Okay.
than on the wood. There might be exceptions to that. For example, a dining room table that gets so much more use, but not too many fingerprints on this. So just a light dusting with a polishing cloth generally is just fine. Now here's some things, if I put them on the floor, they might just plug up the vacuum a little bit. So I'm going to put them in my handy dandy,
So flower petals right in your little garbage pocket.
right in my little garbage pocket. And I'm just going to move this forward and with my already dampened polishing cloth, and move it back.
Okay.
Now I'll go all the way to the floor. So before I go any further, I want to do here, and I want to do on this lower level here. And I'm going to whack that against my ankle as we talked
Trusty
about.
feather duster.
Also, before I pass this picture, I want to do the same thing. Once again, a dead stop.
You can really reach a long way with that feather duster. You don't
Yeah,
need to
between
step up
your
on
arm
it.
and just a little bit of a handle, you can reach a long ways. Same thing with this picture. Dust behind it.
Mhm.
Set it back. Now this beautiful stained glass lamp here, I'm going to use my feather duster on it. Starting at the top.
What about inside?
Well, you can go right in there. See how that feather
Yeah,
duster is up
sure
in there?
does.
And so the cobwebs do got to get up in there, and that's a good idea to do that. And the base. And then lift it very carefully to do that.
Super.
You know, I noticed a feather duster, a cobweb right there.
There sure was one.
Okay, top to bottom, we're just following the rules. Now,
Okay.
all the way down here, and then I don't know if you can see in this corner, but I'm sure you're aware of this corner. It's a corner you never have vacuumed because the vacuum won't fit in there, right?
I don't know what you're going to find back there, but go to it.
Well, it's a small space, and that's a good thing to kind of be alert for. Places that you can't otherwise get the vacuum into, use your whisk broom. So I'm gonna get down there and whisk it out.
Uh-oh. Oh, just a little dust, huh?
Yeah,
Quite a bit of
just a little dust, that's okay. I'm also gonna whisk behind this column table here while I'm down here on my hands and knees, because that's another spot that it's not very easy to get to. So we're just gonna continue around. You know how to dust the top of that.
But what do I do
bottom
about
of that.
those flowers there? They're fairly new, but I haven't really cleaned them yet.
Well, you know, that's one of those, these flowers are getting very popular, but here's the perfect tool. That paintbrush,
Oh,
it's really great.
that's what the paintbrush is for.
You know, just start at the top and work your way down, and it just kind of whisks the dust away in a way the feather duster can't do, because the feather duster bristles are just so fine and
Too
soft, you know, so this kind of digs it out. And you just kind of work your way through. You may not have to do that whole plant every time, but if you do it every other time or so forth, it'll never get dirty. Just work our way across, top to bottom,
Yeah, using both hands there.
all the way down. When you come to a couch, oftentimes there's just dust back up here. You know, a whisk broom is perfect, you know, to get rid of any cat hairs or,
That
you
looks
know,
like fun. I like
that kind of thing. Cookie crumbs that might get down there,
Crackers from
you
the
know.
other party.
It's safe to use red juice if you see a fingerprint on, you know, like where somebody's
Well, no, that's
put their
leather.
dirty
Yeah.
on.
Red juice on leather's fine.
Red juice is safe on leather. I mean,
goodness.
spray it on and wipe it off, but it's a non-toxic, very effective, while being harmless to practically everything.
Well, that's terrific.
Here's a glass table. I'm not going to do the whole thing because part of it will demonstrate, but once again, pick it up, don't slide it across. Little blue juice, don't use any more blue juice than you absolutely need to, because you got to wipe it all back off. And you remember what
Yeah.
to do to not leave streaks.
Yes, you have to use, make sure your cloth is dry, right?
Use a very dry cloth and then wipe until all the blue juice is dry.
Okay.
And then that will take care of it. And wipe the fish while you put it back. Here's another place,
Probably don't do that
especially
one
as
so
long
hard.
as I'm down on my hands and knees,
Okay.
that the vacuum isn't going to get to. So I'm going to
So you just get that out.
whisk those areas out. Now,
Very good.
that's a little bit of a demonstration of the kinds of motions that you're going to go through as you go through the house. You're going to run into different things in the family room and different things in the bedroom, but follow these techniques and you'll be done with the dusting in no time.
No time. Okay, Jeff, I'm the student. How much time is no time?
No time is about 20 minutes would be my guess for your house.
Well, that's going to be my goal. I'm going to try to get my dusting in my house down to 20 minutes.
Very good.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. Well, Peggy, we're down to our last job. It's the vacuuming.
Well, I'm particularly interested in this because I've been looking for a new vacuum cleaner,
Oh, really?
and I read your catalog and I saw the vacuum that you had in the catalog, and I've been in the market and I've looked at a lot of other vacuums. I have to tell you, I'm a bit confused. Can you help me out?
Well, what can I tell you in a short lesson here? I guess the first question is, do you want an upright vacuum or do you want a canister type vacuum? Well, we've looked and looked and looked and tested a lot of vacuum cleaners, and we finally decided that we prefer canister type vacuums for two really important reasons. One is you can get under more things with a canister type vacuum, and that means you don't have to stop and move furniture as often.
So that helps speed
And it also helps your back.
Okay.
The other thing is that it's easier to do stairs with a canister type vacuum than it is with an upright vacuum. So once you've decided
Okay.
to get a canister type vacuum, there's a few things that you want to make sure your canister type vacuum has. Probably the most important these days is a good filtration system. Now most vacuums start with a bag, but that might be where they end. Now this vacuum has this whole great big thing here is a filter.
Wow.
Filters down to a half a micron. And
What about dust mites? I've heard about those for people with allergies. We're not so concerned about that, but some of our friends are.
well, of course they are, and for good reason, but dust mites are about 2 or 3 microns.
Oh.
So a half a micron not only gets the dust mite, it gets kind of the dust mite debris. So this is a really good filter. If you've got a good filter, the next thing I always look for is a nice long cord. The fewer times you have to stop to plug and unplug, the faster the vacuum is going to go.
Well, that makes sense.
You want to have a vacuum that's nice and strong, and I'm talking about suction power. You want it to, pull all the dirt out of the carpet just as quickly as it can.
Okay.
You know? And then the size of the bag itself. It saves time if you don't have to stop and empty the bag.
Well, this particular vacuum doesn't look very big. It looks like a cute little blue thing.
Well,
Is it very heavy?
It's a light one, and that's probably the last thing I look for as far as the vacuum goes. And this is a nice light vacuum cleaner while having all those other features. And I'll have to say that we've had this one specially made for us. So it's just perfect as far as we're concerned.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand that, but I just wanted to know the differences, and that,
Sure.
I think you pointed some out to me.
Now let me show you something about using it now that we've talked about it. The single most important thing as far as saving time is try to plug in the vacuum once and then vacuum the whole house without ever stopping to unplug and replug.
Okay.
Now I said this one has a nice long cord, but if you don't have a cord that's long enough, get yourself a good extension cord, and before you put them together, tie them a little knot like this.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's a
not a
cute
smart
trick.
idea? Then when you pull on it, it doesn't come unplugged. Now, as far as vacuuming itself, let me show you a few things here. The main thing about vacuuming is that you generally are going to follow the same path that you did when you dusted. So remember, we were dusting over here, and I'm going to start kind of in the corner and work my way out. And just remember, I don't have to worry about that corner because I whisked it. And then just methodical back and forth, taking about the same distance. And use landmarks. For instance, this is my landmark. I know I've gone that far. And then I'm just going to step back and I'm going to do it again. You can kind of speed up when you're in areas of not much traffic.
Right.
And then slow down when you're in areas of a lot of traffic, in front of the front door, front of the sofa, and so forth.
Well, I know we don't have the vacuum cleaner on so that we can show it to everyone.
Well, you can't hear me tell you all my secrets.
Well, yeah, but I noticed that it's making a pattern on the floor. Is there something in this particular head of the vacuum cleaner that's making that happen?
Well, we like a canister that has a second motor in the beater head. This
Okay.
one happens to be an air-driven motor, but it works just great.
Okay.
Something that's hard to vacuum for a lot of people is throw rugs. Peggy, let me move
Sure.
this over here and show you that. The secret to doing a throw rug is to stand right in the middle of it and now vacuum off the end of it, such as that. That way the throw rug doesn't move and you get it vacuumed well, and then turn around and do it the other direction. There's one other thing I'd like to show you how that works real well with this vacuum, and that's how to vacuum stairs. Peggy, the way that you vacuum stairs is you set the vacuum down a few steps from the top, and then you go to the top and you start vacuuming your way back down carefully. We don't want to lose you.
Okay.
Down the stairs because you're working from top to bottom.
Right.
Now I don't have on my red juice or blue juice or feather duster, but I'm always carrying my whisk broom when I vacuum, because if I need that for any little corners like this, I can just whisk those down to the next step where I can vacuum them away. So that's kind of how you do the vacuuming of the stairs. Doesn't that look easy?
That looks very easy. I can't wait to try it. And speaking of easy, how long will it take me to vacuum this entire house? What should my goal be?
I've been kind of keeping track. I think it's going to take about 22 minutes is all.
22 minutes exactly?
I think so. Don't you think this is what it's really all about? Speed cleaning means getting it over quickly and efficiently, of course, but what it really means is you have time to do things like this.
Oh,
You
yes,
know?
and or golf, and or garden, and, maybe
Yeah.
even do a little fishing.
All those things. That reminds me, keep track of your time when you do the cleaning. Make a graph or something, because it will really encourage you to get better and better at it,
Well, Jeff, I've done better than that. I've memorized all my goal times for all those
Really?
rooms.
Wow.
Right, and I'll tell them to you right now. Kitchen's going to take me 22 minutes when I get really good at it.
Uh-huh.
And the bathrooms, including the master bathroom and my extra bathroom, are going to take 33 minutes. So
Yes,
that's
okay.
3 bathrooms.
Yeah.
And then the dusting's going to take me another 20 minutes, but that's for the whole house, which I'm getting pretty good at already.
Okay.
And the vacuuming's going to take another 22.
Yeah, you got a lot of vacuuming to do.
So I
there.
added up those numbers, and do you think I can do it in an hour and 37 minutes?
It sounds like you're convinced that you can. I know you
I think
can.
I can.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Good. There's a way you could save even more time. Yeah.
Well, how could I save more time?
Well, it's wonderful if you can get the household to help you and work in a team. I mean, there's a possibility you could recruit your husband.
Well, that might be a cold day in July, but when he sees how excited that I am, how this used to take me a whole day and how it only takes me an hour and 37 minutes now, maybe he'll join in.
You never know.
I never knew where to start before. I mean, I didn't know, when I walked into the kitchen, what to carry with me. I didn't have an apron. I didn't have the right tools. I didn't know what products to use. And now I know, and so that's one reason I'm convinced that I can do it.
Well, you know, speed cleaning really can make a difference. And I hope that it benefits our viewers the same way that it's benefited you. you
Well,
know?
thanks, Jeff. You've changed my life. You really have.
Well, then, enough about cleaning. Let's go enjoy ourselves.
Let's do.